the first question is, was there negligence on the part of the defendant which was a legal cause of Rita Icobellis' death? And as we all know, that's a two-part question. So I'm going to start by talking about the first half of the question, which is, was there negligence? There was, and that was proven abundantly clear. First of all, they failed to provide her an escort to the dining room, which was required. And I don't know if everybody caught it this morning, but it was really interesting. When their representative, Kyla March, came in this morning, Mr. Broadwater said, hey, tell the panel, what does escort mean? And with our court reporter here and the magic of science that we can get this typed up so quick, can you put up here what was the answer to that question from their own corporate rep today? Describe to the panel what the escort service are. So it would be seeking residents as they were free to, roam about the community, seeking them out and making sure that they are brought to the dining area and seated. That is what Kyla March said in that chair about 3 hours ago, their witness. And they admit that they didn't do that. So in and of itself, that's negligence. But of course, there's so much more. Because number two, on top of not having the escort, not bringing her to her seat, as their own director says they should have, they failed to provide her a walker. And you heard in here that they were in such a cluster of trying to figure out what happened, because it's all over the records that she was supposed to have it, but they didn't get it to her, that they made this last-minute push to try to blame everybody else. People that they're saying are great people. VNA still goes to this facility. Pratt still goes to this facility. They came in here and threw them under the bus trying to add them as Fabry defendants when it was too late because they didn't follow the law. They're responsible for the fact that there was no walker. That's their negligence. They're the only ones under the law who can be held responsible for it because they didn't even plead Fabry defenses to blame anybody else. That was a last-ditch effort that failed. So number one, the escort. That's all we needed to prove negligence. Number two, in and of itself, the walker. That's all we needed. Number three, they failed to provide her with the supervision she required. You heard the unquestioned testimony that this was a dining room filled with multiple dementia patients and there was not a single staff member in the room. There's one staff member in the TV room and then there's this ghost person supposedly in the kitchen who never even showed up. So we have no escort, no walker, inadequate supervision, and then of course finally inadequate assistance, because if we accept the testimony of Elvira Lormistis as true, then she didn't finish the job because she said she pulled out the chair, but that's not good enough. You see it says right there, they're supposed to make sure that they're brought to the dining area and seated. I mean, if that was the nurse expert I hired, Charlotte Shepard, who said that, that would be one thing. That is their nurse that they brought in today, and that's what they told you was required, and they admit they failed to do it. Any one of those four reasons is enough to prove negligence. We proved all four.